Hey guys, AJ here, back on the other one. So today we're going to look at Michael Seibert. And I have to say that this guy, out of all the predos out there, all the guys that were caught, I would say this guy and, what's his name? Donald Morrison have to be like in the top 5 of people that you would see just on the street and think that they diddle kids. I mean, come on. I mean, just look at this guy, you know? I mean... I know they say never judge a book by its cover, but come on. I mean, look at this guy. And I mean, I have a lot of friends who are like aren't into TCAP, and whenever I want to like show them any type like, hey guys, check out this show from back in the day or any clips, I always have to include Michael Seibert because he's so memorable. He's so like just so cringe. You know what I mean? Like everything about this guy is just like, this is not the type of guy that you want babysitting your kids or like hanging out around the playground. You know what I mean? So I think that I had said in a previous video that I didn't really start reading the chat logs until I want to say, until earlier this year, and, thanks to the TCAP community, because I didn't really realize that these were available. I would just watch all the clips, and then I know Perverted Justice has been around for a while, but I just never read the chat logs. So seeing people quote the chat logs and stuff is just plain hilarious. But I have to say that this is one of the only guys where, a lot of people talk in this kind of internet talk, so their English isn't very good or the grammar isn't good, but this is one of the only guys where he literally types like how he talks. So I read this and it's just like I'm thinking about this in this guy's voice, and it's even more hilarious than just reading it regularly. But you can see, he says, where are we here? So he says, do you have cam? And she says, not right now. This is Kira Girl Rules. Not right now. My cam busted, so I have to buy a new one this weekend. Do you suck dick? Are you busy? No, I'm not busy. Lulz. Yeah, I have. Are you cop? Yes or no? She says, no. I told you no a bunch. It that for reals? REALS. Yeah, I'm for real. On your life? Yeah, I already promised that to you. Do you want to suck my dick? Any more pic of you? So he literally is typing in the way that he speaks. He's not doing this intentionally. So yeah, if you want to really kind of laugh, go back and read this chat log. And guys, yes, for anyone who's new to TCAP, all of us have our own TCAP sense of humor. So yes, we find this funny, so don't judge. So, all right, guys, let's just jump into this here and see what we have going on.
We thought we'd seen and heard just about everything, but what we found there surprised even our own Chris Hansen. A reminder, some of what you'll see is explicit.
I wonder how Stone Phillips would have done instead of Chris Hansen, because he has that I'm Stone Phillips, that kind of voice. He has that really distinctive voice, just like Chris Hansen does,
And trolling the internet for
oral first. I love oral. Want to meet up, baby?
So have you ever been
Touching your legs, your breasts, slowly. I'd tear your little... I wish you was here to play with my...
They should do a TCAPicon, like Comic-Con, you know what I mean? And have this narrator guy and the narrator girl that, oh wow, have them on a panel and just have people give them scripts and just read the scripts in front of everyone just so we can laugh. That'd be so fun.
Hon, would you like to take me in your mouth?
Dang.
Coming up next, a man who's been our house guest once before.
Oh, and props to Charles Lee Love for posting this.
Do you remember? We talked once before.
What a knucklehead, man. You can skip ahead a little bit here.
Our undercover house in Long Beach is busy. 38 men are arrested over 3 days.
Long Beach is one of my favorite stings because I feel like these cops, first of all, I think this is the one where they had to run like all the way across the street, but I feel like they were not trying to like overact or anything or like try and make it more dramatic. Because there was one where they have the guys sitting in the bushes with the camo suit on. That's a little excessive. I feel like they're trying to play it up for the camera. But these guys were really just like about business, you know?
But 8 months earlier, during our previous investigation in Riverside, California, this man, 26-year-old Michael Seibert, walked into our
How sleazy this dude is.
house.
Get a bathroom.
Back then, Seibert had a sexually explicit online chat with someone who told him she was 13, and he sent a picture of his genitals.
Hey, sir. Just come on over here for a minute, please.
Seibert
Someone's not using the bathroom today.
certainly had some explaining to do.
And why did you send pictures of yourself like this to her?
Boots.
Dude, you know who this guy looks like? You guys ever watch that Phineas and Ferb show? He looks like the Phineas dude with the big nose. That's who he looks like. Yeah.
Oops.
I will never do it again. Promise.
And you say a lot of sexually charged things to her for a 13-year-old girl.
I know what I did wrong. Okay?
Okay.
It will never happen again.
Now, I've looked on some forums, and there were some people that said that they felt bad for this guy because, like, he's mentally ill or something. Like, apparently he got dropped on his head like Sloth from the Goonies. So, like, apparently he has some type of brain damage or whatever, but that's no excuse, guys. Don't feel bad for these types of people. Can function enough to drive a car, have a job, buy a computer, talk. No. You can't give this guy any type of like empathy at all. He's a predator.
Go ahead, you come in.
Sorry about that.
Seibert told the Riverside police he gets treatment for seizures and that the scar on his head was caused by a fall when he was an infant.
It reminds me of the Goonies. Hey, you guys.
Yes.
Later, he pleaded not guilty to a charge of an attempted lewd act on a child and attempting to send harmful matter to a child with intent to seduce. That case is still working its way through the court system. So, fast forward 8 months from our house in Riverside to our Long Beach.
So I looked it up, you guys, and he's out on bail. So he got bail, and then he was right out talking to underage kids. And this is this douchebag's Nissan Altima with like the Lambo doors from back in the day. I forget what his name is, but he calls himself like Nismo Man or whatever. And he pulls up in like a 2000 something Altima with Lambo doors on it. And it's like, dude, this is back when even Lambos didn't have Lambo doors. Because I think from like 2002 to 2000 something, they stopped doing the actual Lambo doors. This is back when the Gallardos were out. So they didn't have the Lambo doors, but this idiot's going to put Lambo doors on his Altima. Okay, but I digress.
Beach investigation. He's still online, still using the same screen name, and amazingly, still chatting with someone who tells him she's 13.
Now, if this was like a normal IQ predator, then I would say that is ballsy, using the same name you got caught under the last time. I mean, the ego, the hubris, but this guy is such a knucklehead, I don't think he knew any better.
Just like his chat 8 months before, he asks, have you ever had sex yet? And I need sex. He also talks about group sex, but he's also suspicious and asks, are you a cop? To which she replies, no, I'm not a cop. Then apparently referring to his meeting with Dateline 8 months earlier, he writes, I got caught before.
Wow.
I never noticed it was caught. He put COUGHT.
Incredibly, he tells the decoy he has to delay the Long Beach liaison for a day because he has to go to court. A court date to face charges arising from our Riverside investigation. But the very next day,
Hey, come here.
here he is.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a PT Cruiser. Who remembers those? You guys remember when those were everywhere? You remember that? Everyone had one. And they were pieces of crap, too, you know? Like, I had a neighbor, he was like, yeah, my PT Cruiser Turbo is so cool. That thing was in the shop.
Get
so much.
Within 6 feet of you, 8 feet of you.
Who's all here?
Just me.
Oh.
Promise, my parents are gone.
You know, you look familiar to me.
Oops.
Oops, Chris Hansen's son.
That's right. Oops, he's done it again.
Michael, right?
Oops, sorry.
Do you remember who I am?
Can I get a spell?
What are you doing here?
Chris is like, no, your ass is mine. You're going to sit here and listen to every single word I have to say.
Michael?
I have the chat log. So you're going to listen to every single word I have to say. Props to the wedding singer, right?
I'm sorry.
You were just in court on Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened in court on Friday?
What is that in the picture there? That doesn't look like lemonade. It's too orange. Is that Tang? Who remembers Tang, you guys?
He said more time.
More time before the next court date.
Yeah, I'm sorry what I did.
Okay. But you got to explain to me why or how you thought it was okay after having a court date stemming from our last
those sandals
visit,
with socks,
and
too? This
then,
guy is like
within
super GQ
24
dresser
hours,
here.
you show up at this house to meet another young girl. What are you thinking about? Now, you know
I know it.
You know what you said online, right?
Yeah.
How old is this girl?
Don't know.
13.
The thing about this is like, this guy's interaction's actually pretty boring. It's the oops, and then the fact that he looks so cringe that makes him so memorable. But like, I watched this a couple times the other day, and actually looking at the dialogue, it's his appearance and that one word, that oops, makes people remember him.
She told you she was 13.
Yeah, and I told her to go away. She keeps eyeing me back.
Dang.
You ask if she's got naked pictures of herself. You ask if she performs oral sex, what color her underwear is. Now, Michael, you know this is not right to do this, right? And we had this very same conversation in Riverside, California.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And right then, you told me that you knew this was wrong.
I know.
And that you would never, ever do it again. And that turned out to be a lie, didn't it, Michael?
I promise this time.
Okay. Can you imagine Chris Hansen? Do you want a pinky swear, Michael?
Lift it up. I'll never come back.
But if he appears to be a sad case, you should know that according to Perverted Justice, Seibert has had sexual chats with at least 3 other decoys who said they were underage girls. And you should also know that there's another side to Seibert's story. He served a year in jail for a dangerous assault. What was the deadly weapon you used in the assault?
Bat.
And who did you go after with the bat? Some guy? Is there anything else you want to tell me, Michael?
I know I did wrong.
You did wrong.
Can I go?
Michael, you can go, but I'm going to remind you that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing another story on adults
And you walk right into it, Michael.
who try to meet kids on the internet for sex.
I know I did wrong.
You can go. You can go right now. You can walk right out that door.
Any cops out there?
That's not up to me, Michael.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he said, yeah, it is.
I'm not the police. So why don't you go ahead, Michael? It's time to go. Seibert clearly doesn't want to leave. Having been through this before, he knows the police are waiting outside.
Oh, dang.
What's going back inside gonna do?
I need a bathroom.
Michael, you're going to have to go outside.
I know I did wrong.
Now, walk out, get on your knees.
Like the others, Seibert is charged with an attempted lewd act upon a child. He has pleaded not guilty.
So he pleads not guilty again. After pleading not guilty on the previous one, excuse me. And then getting out on bail and doing it again. This dolt, this idiot has the nerve to say not guilty again.
His lawyer says Seibert has severe mental issues. Is that a defense in any way in this case?
In my mind, no, it's not a defense. He knows what he did was wrong. He knew enough that when you confronted him, his first words were, oops. You know, he knew enough to promise you that he wasn't going to do this again.
Do you live with your mom?
Yeah. They're gonna kill me.
He admitted to...
Yeah, when you go to jail, you know, people in jail aren't too kind to people that, you know, get busted for this type of thing. So, yeah.
During our interview that he had been previously convicted of assault.
Yes.
What does that say about the danger he could present to a young teen home alone?
My biggest fear is that he would show up, the young teen would decide not to go through with what they had been talking about in their internet chat. He would become frustrated with that, and his violent nature would come out.
And that's a thing, too. And the reason why that I'm letting this part go is because I think that when his mom dropped him on his noggin, gave him the old Humpty Dumpty there, that he has like an impulse control problem as well as being attracted to younger girls, too. So he is right. Like, what if this would have happened for real and then this little girl said no, you know? Then really, really bad things could have happened instead of just really bad things.
If Seibert is convicted on the Long Beach charge, as well as the earlier charge in Riverside, he could be facing up to 7 years in prison.
Man. Well, Mr. Seibert.
Over the course of 3 days...
Into that range.
You know, like I said, some people try and feel bad for this guy because obviously, you know, he got dropped on his head and he seems just total cringe and like a total, you know, kind of like a Forrest Gump or whatever. But no, I mean, dude knew what he was doing. Dude's an evil piece of shit, and don't feel bad for him. All right, you guys. This is AJ. Like, subscribe, leave some comments, and yeah, you guys are the best. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out of here.